जय यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Parivajakaacharya Stoutra Shadasri Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivajakaacharya Stoutra Shadasri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Sri Sri Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Guru Shishya Parampara Ki Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Prince Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Mathura Dham Ki Purushottam Kshetra Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Ganga Maya Jamuna Maya Ki Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Golokira Prema Dhan Harinam Sankirtan Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Ithai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for allowing me to serve all of you, wonderful Vaishnavas of Houston. It's a great opportunity for me to serve. So I'm asked to speak about Sant Tukaram. Is it right? Yes, Mataji? Everyone wants to hear about Sant Tukaram? We will. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was touring South India, he stopped at the place called Pandharpur. And he stayed there for 11 days. Every day he used to take bath in Chandrabhaga river, and then he will go and see Panduranga, Lord Vithala. And he will dance in ecstasy and chant in ecstasy. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Pandharpur for 11 days. So Srila Prabhupada, in the purport, he writes that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu initiated Tukaram Maharaj. And his Sankirtan Mandali resembles Gaudiya Vaishnava Sankirtan, and he has written many abhangas glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is how he is linked with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his teachings. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings are Jivedaya, Nameruchi, Vaishnava Seva. And these teachings are all the abhangas or the poems of Sant Tukaram. They are mainly based on these things. And of course, then there is a most worshipable bhava by Gaudiya Vaishnavas, is a Gopi bhava. So that is also described in many of his poems of Tukaram. So, and also he has shown in his life what a preacher should be and what is the mood of a preacher should be. So today I'll just tell about some things about his Vairagya, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Shiksharthameka Purusha Purana. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was appeared to teach Vairagya. So Tukaram's Vairagya is unparalleled. Even though he is a Grihastha, we should not try to imitate his Vairagya. It is not possible. It is impossible. So, to begin, Tukaram was born in a very wealthy family. He is 7 generations before Vishwambar. For his accepting his devotional service, Lord Vithala, he appeared, Vitthal Rukmini. And to accept his service, they came to Dehu. So they are considered as non-different from Vitthal Rukmini of Pandharpur. So, at the time of Vishwambar, where he was leaving this world, Krishna appeared to him and he said, I am so pleased with you. So if you need any benediction or any boon, you can please ask me. I said, what do I need? Yeah, actually, whole of my life, you allowed me to serve you. I don't need anything. I'm completely satisfied. Just keep me engaged in your service. So then Krishna said, no, I want you, you have done such a wonderful service. I want you to give something. Please ask me something. So the Vaishnavas are not selfish, they ask for the benefit of humanity. So Vishwambar said, if you so desire, please make sure that you have come into this Dehu, a small village. He said, you have come into this village and I served you, so make sure that all my generation in future, they will also serve you. You have to make that sure. So even today, if you go there, all the descendants of Vishwambar are taking care of the deities. And so at that time, Krishna said that, yes, I will make that sure. But not only that, 7th generation from now, a great saint or Vaishnava will be born in your family, in your dynasty, and he will spread the holy name, and he will spread the Harikatha, Harinam all over the world. So that's what in 7th generation Tukaram appeared as the son of Vallabha and Kankai. Now, by profession, they had a grocery shop, and also they used to lend money, saukari, they were money lenders. And it is said that in 16th century, when he was born, his yearly income was $75,000. Hare Krishna, anyone earns that much? Now, just multiply by today's inflation rate. And that is also in the village of Dehu, not in the costly city of Houston. So he's 75 lakh rupees. So kind of $100,000, right? So, such a rich family. So his father, Vallabha, he became about 50-year-old, and then he said, now it is my desire and also it's my duty to retire from all my household responsibilities and also from business and everything. So he called his son, the first son, his name was Savji. So he called him and said, now you take the responsibility of the business. So Savji, he said, I am not interested, because Savji from his childhood he was a Vairagi, he was a renunciate from his childhood. So he said, just because, according to Vedic culture, you should not leave your parents alone, and you should serve them till they leave this world. So that is the reason I am staying with you. As long as you are living, I am serving you. And then I am leaving this world and just going pilgrimage, and I will go to some holy dham and just stay there. So his father was very happy. He said, this only fortunate people develop a renunciation in their heart. Only fortunate. If somebody is developing vairagya, if somebody is developing renunciation in his heart, he is not interested in any worldly things. So that is a very, 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 very rare. And if someone develops that, it's very fortunate, In America, if something happens like that, they take you to psychiatric, Why he is not interested in anything, So that is a good sign. Right? I remember when I was in Vrindavan, I had to face some devotees' parents. They came and they took away the brahmachari and took them to psychiatric, They were telling them he don't have any girlfriend, what's wrong with him? He's joining as a brahmachari. So this is, people don't know the importance of renunciation. So he was very happy. His father was very happy. He said he didn't force him. So the second son was Tukaram, and the third son was Kanoba. So they had 3 sons. So he called Tukaram. He said, see, Savji, your elder brother, is not willing to take any responsibility of business, and he just wants to be renounced. So I request you to take care of all these things. So Tukaram was in his teens at that time, 17-year-old boy, So he accepted. He said, okay, So for some days, father stayed with him and he taught him all the business and everything. But their main business was Harikatha and Harinam. And engaged them, they themselves were engaged. And all money, even though they had so much money, they used to feed thousands of brahmanas and sadhus, and every day there will be festival. Sometimes we do not have programs on Mondays and Tuesdays. People think it is very difficult to come. But actually previously every day there used to be a program in the evenings. every day. In the evenings, I remember as a child, I used to go with my father because after 6 o'clock there was nothing to do. You know why? Because there was no electricity. Can you imagine when electricity has spoiled so much? Ananteshwar was complaining he didn't have 10-day electricity. Now we are depending on so much on electricity. We lived like years. I remember I studied in the candlelight, not in the kandil kehte usko Hindi mein. So that was a natural life. So there was nothing in the evening. The only thing you have to do in the evening, go to temple. So all temples were full. Every temple, I remember I used to go with my father, thousands of people will be there in the evening. And that was entertainment actually. Nice katha, nice kirtan, a nice prasadam. Is it not it's a beautiful thing to do. So unfortunately we lost that. So that was the life of Tukaram. All their money and everything was used in serving Krishna, inviting all the people from all the villages, giving them sumptuous prasadam and opulent dressing of Vitthal Rukmini and their seva. So in this way, Tukaram, he was engaged in the service of Vitthal Rukmini. So Tukaram, he did like that, and after some days, his father left this world. And being in separation, his mother also left world within just 6 months, At that time, Tukaram was married, so he had his first wife, and who had a pneumonia. So she also died within 1 year. And she had one son, Santoba. He also died in 1 year. And when all these things happening in his family, there was a complete drought for 1 year. And there was no produce or there were no crops. So, as they were grocers, so they had less product in their shop. And at the same time, because they were lending money, so people didn't return the money because there was no crop. So money was not returned. And for another crop, people asking money. So whatever they have to give it as a loan. So it happened that way for 1 year. And second year also there was a drought. There was no rain. So again people had to take money, and Tukaram had to give all of this. And the third year again there is a drought. So consecutive 3 years. So the third year Tukaram's position was that he didn't have any money to eat. He didn't keep anything because he was so generous that he will give it away everything. Knowing that whatever Krishna wants, if these people, I'm their servant, and he didn't look it as a business. He looked it as a seva. Previously, everything was looked as a seva, not as a business or a job. Everything was a seva. So he looked at it in that way. So he lost everything in 3 years. Now just imagine a person who has $100,000 income a year, and he loses everything in just 3 years. Father, mother, his wife, his son, and all business. What somebody will do? What somebody will do? Yes. At least he will live, correct? Nowadays they don't become atheists, they commit suicide. So he would have committed, people, we see that even if one of these things is lost, people get depressed. Now within 3 years he lost everything. Correct? He lost everything, but he didn't get depressed. Now, that's why I said he cannot imitate. Now he is praying to Lord Vittala. See what is his prayers. Okay, you will be surprised by seeing his renunciation. Correct? It's in Marathi, but I will try to translate in English. He said, Bare zhale deva nighale diwali. He said, it is good that I lost my business. Can anybody will say that? It is good that I lost my business. Then he said, Bare zhale deva baile mele. It is good that my wife died. Bare zhale deva por mele. It is good that my son is also died. Deve maya virihita kele. He made me free from all the illusion. Right? The second wife was very nagging. So he said, Bare zhale deva baile karkasha. It is good that I have a wife who is always nagging me. So that I will not become attached to my wife. Don't say that to your wife. So don't say any of this because this is not possible. Don't say, this is his. Now the last line is more important. So what is he? Ata vitho tujhe maje rajya. He says, now it is me and you. Nothing left. It is only me and you. And if you see the reality, it is only Krishna and us. Reality of the life is only Krishna and us. Everything else is external, it is temporary. So that is the reason we need to develop our eternal relationship with Krishna. Now, these things happened. So what did he do? He just left home and he went on the hill. And he knew there is some reason Krishna has done all these things with his life. So he wanted to find out. So he went on the hill. It's the hill of Bhamnath, even it is there today. So he went on the hill of Bhamnath and he just meditated. 15 days he was sitting in meditation. Now in his own Abhangas he is writing how he was meditating. 15 disa mashi zala saskar tatra vithoba betala. He said 15 days I did severe austerity sitting on the hill. Vithoba Bhetla, he said, I met Vittala. And what was the position, in what condition he did meditation? He said, Vyagra Vinsu Samori. Means there is a tiger standing in front of him, which is opening his own mouth, just to devour him. Right? And the snakes, the scorpions, and big ants are crawling on his body. And in this condition he sat for 15 days. Now all of you, those who chant 16 rounds sitting in one place, knows that one mosquito can trouble, or one fly, right? One fly, we get like this immediately. But he was sitting there, tiger standing in front of him, just like he's about to eat. Snakes and scorpions are just crawling on his body, ants are biting him. In this condition, he chanted mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, for 15 days. And because he did this tapasya, Krishna appeared to him. So if you do this tapasya, Krishna will appear to him in 15 days. There is who is devotee, Rudrasura, in previous Chitraketu. He saw Krishna in 7 days by the mercy of Guru. He chanted mantra for 7 days and he saw it. So why we can't say it, because we do not have that determination or we do not have that much of faith. So Tukaram saw, he met Vittala in 15 days. Now when Tukaram has left home, his wife and his brother, they were looking for him. Where did he go? They didn't find him, and they were looking here, there, and they didn't find. 15 days they were looking. So after 15 days when Kanuba was, there is a beautiful Indrayani river. So he was going on the bank, walking on the bank of Indrayani river. So one man, villager, he saw coming from the hill. And he was loudly chanting Vittala Panduranga, Vittala Panduranga, Vittala Panduranga. So this Kanuba, he was surprised. No, he said, what happened to you? No, why you are so happy? Why you are chanting so loudly? He said, I don't know, I was just coming on the hill. There's somebody there. I heard him once chanting the name of Vittala and I just got mad. And that stuck in my mind and I'm still continuing, Sometimes, remember that something happens, you listen to something and it just stucks in your mind. Especially filmy song, If you listen for one time, it just stays with you for some days like that. Something like that. But he listened to good thing, he listened to the holy name. So he listened to the holy name and he was chanting and he was walking down. So Kanuba asked him. And then he said, somebody there. So Kanuba immediately recognized, that must be my brother Tukaram. No one has such a power of chanting the holy name. And so Kanuba went up. And he goes on the hill and he looks at Tukaram. At that time, Tukaram is in the embrace of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna has embraced him, And he said, I have sent you here for some purpose. I have sent you for some purpose. And now that time has come. Now you go home, stay as a Grihastha and preach Krishna consciousness. That is what I want you to do. And that is what Tukaram did afterwards. He started preaching. Right? So, why Krishna say like that, we have come here? Because it is in Tukaram Abhanga actually, why he came. He says that Ami Vaikuntavasi Alo Yachi Karanasi Bolileji Rushi Sats Bhave Vartavya. He said, I have come from Vaikunta. So he knows that he has come from Vaikunta. Any of us know where we have come from? Any of us remember where we come from? All of you remember we came from India. Now, so where we have come from, correct? We don't know. But he remembers, Ami Vaikuntavasi. Alo Yachi Karanasi. I have come here. Bolilej Rushi means whatever Vyasadeva have come. Sats Bhave Vartaya. He said to experience and then preach. It is not just to tell, read and tell. No. You experience. Sats Bhave. Sats means to experience it, Sakshatkar. And then you preach. So therefore, if one has experienced and realized, and many talks, it is impactful. If somebody just talks, it is not that impactful. It's just kind of storytelling, you laugh, cry and go home. So but one who practices and then speaks, it is very impactful. So that is what Sats Bhave. I have come here to experience and preach Vartavya. So in another Abhanga he says, Dharmache Rakshana Karne Pakhanda Khandana Bijavadavave Nama Karne Amma Hechikama. He said, I have come here to protect the religious principles and eradicate or defeat what is against the religious principles. And how he does that? Bijavadavave Nama. I have come here, I have appeared here to sow the seed of holy name in each one's heart. So that is the reason he came. So this is how he has come. And it is explained that before Tukaram appeared, Krishna had a meeting with all his devotees in the spiritual world, in Vaikunta. And that time he said, now, whatever message I have told, people have forgotten. So now I want somebody to go and revive that message again. So who is ready to go? So Tukaram raised his hand. So that's how he came. Krishna sent him. So this is why Krishna is saying, I have some purpose, I have sent you here. So Srila Prabhupada also used to say, I don't wanted to come, but Krishna pushed me. So these devotees, they remember, We don't remember anything because we don't know where we were. So this is Tukaram. So that is how he remembered. So Krishna is telling him to, now you go and preach. So then he came down and he started preaching. So the first thing he did, as soon as he came down, his brother was very happy, both of them walked down the hill. And Tukaram sends Kanuba, his younger brother. It said, you go and get all the promissory notes, because previously if you give loan, they used to write promissory notes that I owe my farm to you, I owe my house to you, I owe my gold to you, something like that. So they had all the promissory notes. So Kanuba went home, said, wow, Tukaram Maharaj has become again very much interested in business. So now he's going to take these promissory notes and go home to home and collect money. So Kanuba, he went home and he got all these promissory notes, kept in one bundle, and he gave it to Tukaram. So Tukaram opened it and he started taking one and tearing it and throwing it in the river. He did the second one and third one, then Kanuba catches his hand. He said, what are you doing? You may be renounced. I am a Grihastha, you are also a Grihastha, what you are not taking care of your wife, Then Tukaram says, see, if I take this and if I go collect all the debts from people, I will forget my debt to Krishna. So first let me fulfill my debt to Krishna, and this is already covered under that. There is one nice sloka in Srimad Bhagavatam too. This is Devarshi Bhutatta Nrunam Pitrunam Nayam Runicha Rajan Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Saranyam Yato Mukundam Parivritti Krutam. So Devarshi, as soon as we are born, we are indebted. As soon as you are born, you don't have even become old. As soon as you are born, you come with these 7 debts, Runa. Is there debts? What is the Deva? You are indebted to the demigods. Correct? Just one demigod. There are 33 crores, but just take example one demigod, Surya. How much sun, heat, energy we take from sun god? Does sun god sends any bill to us anytime? No. Now government takes energy from him and sends electricity and asks for money. And if you don't pay that, your electricity will be cut. So just imagine how much we are indebted only to one god, Surya. What to speak of Chandra, Prithvi, Varuna, then Vayu. How many devatas they are giving us so much. So that debt is eternally increasing and increasing. You cannot pay. So Deva, Rishi, all the knowledge, whatever Krishna has told, everything these Rishis, chain of Rishis, have brought this to us. So that also you cannot repay. Devarshi, Apta, relatives, so many relatives have helped us in so many ways. You cannot repay. Sometimes you remember, sometimes you don't know. And Apta previously not only means blood relatives. Apta also means all living entities. They are our relatives. Sometimes you just sit in a taxi. Taxi wala brings you to your home place. But you pay your, whatever the bill is, whatever the charges are. But that is not enough. He came to you in the right time. So that is most valuable when you are urgently in need. So Apta, there are so many people who have helped us during our life. So you cannot pay off. Devarshi Bhutapta, Nuna, the king. King arranges so many things for us. The roads, the electricity, the water, hospitals, so many things king arranges. So you cannot even repay king. Right? So all these dates are there as soon as we are born, and they go on increasing. But the duty of human being is to become free from all these debts. So how is it possible? So that's why the next line says, Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Sharanam Gato Mukundam Parivritya Krutam. So one should wholeheartedly surrender to Krishna. Gato Mukundam. Then we become free from all these debts. We become free from all the debts. Why? Because they themselves are debted to Krishna. So if you surrender to Krishna, Krishna takes care of all our debts. So one who is a devotee of Krishna, he don't have to pay any debts. Don't think that you don't have to pay your credit cards, because you didn't ask Krishna for that. So one who pays the debt of, one who surrendered to Krishna, he is free from all the debts of all devatas, Rishi, Bhuta, Apta, Nunam, Pitrunam. So all these debts are there. So Tukaram says, if I surrender to Krishna, and if I remember these people owe me something, I will forget what I owe to Krishna. If these people, if I go and ask them money, give me my money, all these things, and I'll again get entangled. So I will, just then Kanova said, oh, you may be sakshatkari, realize, but I have not. Then Tukaram said, just take whatever you want and give it my share. Then Kanova gives half of it to him, then Tukaram tears it down and throws it. Tears it down, throws it. So this way, Tukaram, he says, now I am become free. I am free from all the debts. Actually, governments, especially in India, they think that I have relieved farmers from the debt and everything. So Tukaram did that 400 years ago. And he didn't advertise it. And he said that now I am free. Actually, he considered them, he himself is the debtors of all these Devarsi, Bhutapta and Ramra and all this. So he surrendered to Krishna after that, in your word. So what he will do, whatever, from morning, whole day and night, he was just serving people, serving. And whatever he gets, he will maintain his family. So one time, one farmer who was with Dehu, he has a big farm, and the corn are about to be ripe, they're ready, and he just had some 1 month to fructify that. So at that time, the farmer wanted to go to Pune. It's 30 kilometers only. But previously, it used to take a lot of time to go and come. So he said, I have to go to Pune. It will take me 15, 20 days or even for a month. Depends upon what work I have to do. So, can you please watch this field? Can you please watch this crop? So Tukaram Maharaj said, okay. I said, I will give you 1 quintal of grains as a salary. Tukaram Maharaj said, okay, you go, I will watch. So he went and sat on a raised platform. In Marathi it is called Machad. He went and sat on the high platform. And what he was doing, he was just chanting the name of Krishna, singing the glories of Krishna. Always he was singing the glories of Krishna. And he will see all the birds coming, So all the birds are coming and eating the grains from the corn. And he was happy, please come, please eat, all these things, please eat. And if you are satisfied, if your hunger is satisfied, please go and drink the water, And because he was such a living, friendly and loving to all the, all the birds used to come and sit on his shoulders and his hand and his lap, sometimes on his, people, because they were not afraid of him. Because he was so loving, he was seeing all living entities as part and parcel of Krishna. Now, he is saying, Krishna, when I will become like these birds? When I will become like these birds? So can you even guess what did he saw in the birds? And he prayed that, when I will become like birds? Why he said that? Can anyone guess? Don't be afraid, you can do.
So he's free, he becomes a free.
Excuse me?
He becomes a free.
Free?
Free from everything and just feel.
That's not what Tukaram thought, but it's a good thought.
Greedy.
Yes?
Greedy.
Greedy. You're right there, but just little bit.
Small minds, keep them happy. I say small minds, birds have smaller minds, they keep them happy.
Yes, correct. They're just happy in whatever they get in their pig. Just one grain and they're happy. Right? That means whatever Krishna has given, you should be happy. Whatever Krishna has given. And Krishna has given enough, right? He has given enough to everybody. At least in America. Right? Nobody can complain. Why God you be giving so less? But Krishna has given everything to everybody. So that is what he is thinking. Becoming like birds means completely depending on Krishna. Completely depending on Krishna. See, this is how much they are dependent. Just take one grain, they don't even accumulate. Just take the grain and that's it. That is what our consciousness is. That is then Tukaram, this is the realization of Tukaram. He says, see, what a good realization he says. How many species are there? 8,400,000? 84 lakh yoni, right? 8,400,000. How many are human beings? 400,000. Right? 400,000, right? How you say 4 lakhs? 4 lakhs is 400,000? I'm not good in American calculation. So most of the time I spend in India. So laksha I know. So 4 lakhs, right? Whatever that is, all of you know. So those are human beings. So how many are and everything else? 80 lakhs. Or 8 million? 8 million or 800?
8 million.
800 or 8 million? 8 million? Okay, 8 million. Are other species like birds, reptiles, trees, animals, all these things. Now Tukaram Maharaj, see what is his observation. He said, these 8 million species, they don't do anything for living. Have you ever seen them doing anything for living? You see the birds come and snakes are crawling, ants are there, trees are there, they are also living entities. And Tukaram Maharaj is the most intelligent 400,000 people are working for army. He said, now tell me who is intelligent. Then mark me, Tukaram is asking this question. Is these 400,000 people using their all intelligence for the things which God has already given? And these 8 million people, they don't do anything for living. They are so much depending on God, that's why they are happy. 8 million is not a small amount, living entities. And Prabhupada gives one example, of elephant. He is 300 pounds, correct? So, if Tukaram says, if they are maintaining, why will not maintaining you? Right? Why will not maintaining you? Okay? Don't give up jobs tomorrow, okay? Otherwise we say, oh, not who came and told in Houston that everybody should become like, birds and everything. So please don't do that. We are not surrendered like Tukaram. So Tukaram, this is his thought. As a devotee, we should have these thoughts. At least thoughts, may not be practically applying in your life, but at least, why I am working so hard? Why I am working so hard? All these people are doing so everything, all these birds and animals, they don't do anything. And they are so happy, see? When the sun goes down, they're all gone, they're all sleeping, Anandeshwar Prabhu was just telling me we should go according to nature. They're all sleeping. And what human beings do? They do overtime, So they would 8-day work is not enough for 8 hours. They have to work extra, right? And morning, without even alarm, they get up. Before sunrise, everybody, all the birds and animals, and we are sleeping because of overdose, whatever that is. So, 8 million, Tukaram that is his observation. And the second observation is, he is convincing how your human life, Krishna has taken care of everything. Only thing, because of our faith is lacking, that's why we are not understanding. He gives a wonderful example. He gives an example of a small, just newborn baby. Newborn baby. Now, as soon as the baby is born, there is a milk in mother's breast. It is not there before. Is it right? At that time. So who is making that milk? There is no mechanism in the body. It's not like that. You eat something special and then that turns into a milk. So who is making that milk? Second thing, the baby which is just born, mommy takes it, not even 1 or 2 hours have happened, takes it, puts it on her breast, correct? Now you say, okay, mother takes him there, baby, but who teaches him to suck? And how does he know that after sucking the milk is going to come? That intelligence, who gave that intelligence? So Tukaram Maharaj said, this proves your food is ready and intelligence to get that food is also given to you by God. So don't waste your life just for earning and eating and sleeping. So simple, correct? And then as we start growing, we, especially because of modern education, we start thinking that if I don't do anything, I will not get anything. But whatever is required, God is already provided. You don't even have to work. Even the birds and animals, they are the proof. Right? So, that is many years ago, I saw a very interesting t-shirt. One young boy was wearing that t-shirt. What was that t-shirt? He said, I was born intelligent, education spoiled me. So this is what is, we are all born believer of God. We are born believer of God. Because if you are close to nature, why people in Kali Yuga are averse to Krishna consciousness? Because Krishna is a controller. So previously, there were no gadgets or anything. So it was easy to understand how nature or Krishna is controlling us and He is giving everything to us. Now, why it has become impossible? One remote can do everything, sitting in home. One remote, you can do anything in the world, right? One phone can do. Therefore, I have become a controller. To accept someone as a controller has become difficult. What your God does, I am doing better than God. I am sitting in here, I am doing it. One time, one of my friend, he was telling that in Japan, he was going with a brahmachari, and he read one, what is that called? No, not tablet. The doctor who does your skin thing. Not dermatologist. It is a dermatologist, especially the skin. Plastic surgery. There is an exact word for that. Yes, something like that. Anyway, you understood what I'm saying. Yeah. That person was there, he had many degrees there, and he used to do all the plastic surgeries and everything. And on top he has written, "We fix God's mistakes." You know, if you have a teda nose, then you make it straight. Your nose, he said, "We fix God's mistake." So these people, they have started thinking, I'm better than God. You know, God does mistakes and I fix them. Because God gives you, crooked nose, I fix you. God gives me crooked teeth, I fix everything. So in this way, we are trying to overcome the nature. So that is why it is difficult for people in Kali Yuga, though, to surrender to Krishna. Because Krishna is the controller. And I can control why I should surrender to Krishna. You know, even at the same pandemic, people were talking about that. You know, Krishna, God is there. First thing is, why we should bring pandemic and kill so many people if God is there? God is good. He should be doing everything good. You know, why is doing all this? We got all this pandemic and so many millions of people died. You know, at that time the vaccine came and they became like a god. You know, and they started to see these doctors and engineers, they're better than God, because God brings the disease and a doctor cures the disease. So the doctors are better. I'm sorry if any doctor is here. Oh, sorry. Doctor, so where is the doctor? Where is he sitting? Oh, sorry, doctor. Sorry. At least let me finish my pravachan, you know. Now you got me in any way. Correct? When I'm saying doctor is like, it is right. Doctor is worshipped like a god, you know. Doctor is worshipped like a god. Because we don't know what God does. You know, even the doctors don't know what God does. They can give you the injection, but somebody has to take care of the injection going throughout the body, right? You cannot give injection to dead body and make it work. So there has to be somebody to accept that injection and spread it in the body. And that is done by Atma and Paramatma. Okay. So this is the knowledge. So coming to the point again, Tukaram, he is saying, just because I have to give this knowledge to others, right? And therefore he was showing by his own example. These are the examples he is giving. Don't just waste your time in maintaining yourself. That even the animals, birds who have no knowledge, they are doing. God is taking care of them. So don't just waste your time in just earning money, eating them, and enjoying that. There is some higher purpose to that life. And what is that highest purpose? To understand God and surrender unto Him and love Him. So in this is way, Tukaram Maharaj, he started preaching. And as he started preaching, he became very famous in that area. Very famous, So he started becoming so famous. So his preaching was very simple. He will tell, in Kali Yuga, you don't have to do anything. Just chant the name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So he said you don't have to do any other religious rituals. Just chant the name of Krishna, and that is good enough for human being. Because all other karma kanda is meant for your elevation of your body. But what is there for the soul? Elevation of your consciousness. And final is your Uddhared Atmanatmanam, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Elevate your soul. Just don't stay here and try to become punya karma and all these things. So all karma kanda is meant for all those people, those who are wanted to earn punya and all these things. But soul platform, Krishna consciousness is the only way. So Tukaram was preaching, and because his preaching is very simple, many people started chanting, and they gave up all the rituals, they gave up all the other religious practices, and Tukaram started becoming famous all over. So the Brahmanas, they became very enraged by his preaching. So because he will heavily criticize, all the so-called sadhus and so-called Brahmanas, so-called saints, he will criticize. So all these people, they got angry. They got, they wanted to punish Tukaram. I'll just give one sample of his Abhanga, that you will understand how he was criticizing. He said, I say Sant zhale kali, tondi tambakuchi nadi. Anybody understands Marathi here? Oh, good. ऐसे संत झाले कळी तोंडी तंबाखूची नळी. He said in Kali Yuga, people call them saint. In their hand they have a gurgudi, they have a chilim. How they can be saint? They have a chilim in their mouth or cigar, whatever that is. ऐसे संत झाले कळी. In Kali Yuga, people will, saints will be like this. They will have chilim, they will have cigarettes in their mouth. How many people have seen this kind of saints? In India there are many, correct? People, they think they are saints, Then he said, Pachi pade madhyapana. They will drink tea, coffee, beer and all these things, right? Bhang phurka hai sadhana. And they will have tobacco, they need, without tobacco their pravachan don't start. Bhang phurka hai sadhana. Said, Tukaram avge dhong tete kaisa panduranga. He said, this is all bogus. How Krishna can be there when you are engaged in such a nonsense? Now this kind of saints, what will happen to them? Definitely they become angry, and especially in Kali Yuga, you find this kind of saints are there, and people go to them, they call him saints and everything. So Tukaram was very straightforward. He said, they cannot be a devotee of Krishna. There is no question. If they are engaged in such a nonsense activities, breaking four principles, and because of their just saffron clothes, people are calling them as saints. So this kind of preaching, so devotee, many people were becoming devotees, but the karmakandis and brahmanas and bogus saints, they were getting enraged, they were getting angry on Tukaram. But they don't know what to do, because he was stealing from Bhagavatam, he was stealing from Bhagavad Gita. They cannot stop him. So they thought, maybe we don't know how to stop him. So they went to, nearby village called Chinswad. And there was one More, Mambaji. There was a Mambaji. He was a Brahmana, great scholar Brahmana. So he went to him, and they went to him and they complained. See, Tuka has spoiled our religion. He spoiled the dharma. He's just telling everybody, just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. He's just telling a simple thing, just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And people have stopped all these Shraddha, all kind of pujas, this, that, everything they have stopped. And everybody is just chanting Hare Krishna and they're happy. And we lost our business. We don't have anything. Nobody is coming to Brahmanas anymore. So he has completely ruined dharma, and we are completely become like jobless. We don't have anything to do. So they went to Mambaji. So Mambaji, he said, I cannot just sit here and judge for you. I have to come and see. So he said, you come here and stay in Dehu. We will give you a house to stay. You can make your ashram there. So they called Mambaji. And the ashram was just next to Tukaram's house. So Tukaram's house was very big. If anybody has gone to Dehu, from his birthplace to the temple, all that, it was a big vada. They call it as a big vada. Because he was, $100,000 a year is not a less small income. So he has such a huge house. And this Vitthal Rukmini, they were in his courtyard, outside. So that everybody can come and take darshan and take advantage. And that's how they built the temple there. So behind that, the whole house was there. So, Tukaram was inviting everybody. So, they got Mambaji and they gave him the residence next to the temple. So, he came and stayed there. And he was watching Tukaram. So, he started going to Tukaram's pravachan. And Tukaram, seeing that Brahmana has come, he gave him a special seat on the side. And he was honored like that, because now he was coming and sitting in Tukaram pravachan, But why he used to come and sit in pravachan? He wanted to find fault in whatever Tukaram says. What scriptures he quotes wrong, or sloka wrong, or something wrong. What wrong he does. But he sat there for a month, but didn't find any mistake is what Tukaram is saying. He's quoting perfectly the scriptures. And he's proving that holy name is the only means in Kali Yuga. He didn't find anything in his teachings. Now the next thing is Vyavahara, his dealings. He did like that. So he didn't find any mistakes in his dealings also. Then the only thing left for sadhu is his character. So the character is the only, ornament the sadhu has. Now he tested his character also. He sent a prostitute like Haridas Thakur and he didn't do anything also. Now these Mambaji was burning in his heart. He's trying to prove him wrong, but he's burning in his heart and nothing is happening. But Tukaram, he accepted everything. He knew who he's doing. He had complete faith in the Lord. So he started, one day on the Ekadashi, he took a broom and he was cleaning. Because Tukaram, every morning before everybody comes, he will wake up and he will sweep and keep the temple clean. So that previously, people used to walk without shoes. So he knows that people are coming, so they should not get even a small pebble pierced to their soul. So he was cleaning all temple around, and so that people can come. So that day he was cleaning with the broom, and accidentally his broom touched the fence of Mambaji. And previously they were not barbed wires. They used to have big thorns, like in Marathi they call Babali and Karvandi. Big thorns are there. They are very big. So these thorns, when they dry, you put it as a fence to your house. Even today you can see that in the farms in India. So that's the way they used to make the fence. So that kind of fence was made from these thorny bushes. So it fell down. So this Mambaji, he found something with Tukaram. It was insignificant, some fence fell down. He would have lifted it and put it back. It was not that difficult. But if someone is looking for some fault, an insignificant thing, it's a big thing, it becomes a big thing. Because in his heart, the envy was growing. The anger was growing, I don't find anything. And now we found a little thing. So Mambaji came and started beating Tukaram. He started beating with the same sticks with big nail-like thorns. So he broke one stick and two sticks, three sticks, about more than 12 sticks, he broke, beating Tukaram from his head to toe. The whole body was pierced with so many thorns in his body from head all the way to toe. And he was bleeding. And what Tukaram was doing? He was doing nothing. He just folded his hand and he was just chanting Krishna's name. And he accepted everything. Now all this Mambaji, he becomes tired. He lost his energy and throws the sticks and he goes just cursing Tukaram. He goes because he couldn't beat him more. So he goes. Now Tukaram, after that, he goes in front of Panduranga. Now this news spread all over Dehu. His wife also comes, She is looking at her husband in such a condition. But what is Tukaram is doing? Now see Tukaram Maharaj's mood. He said, Barve Kele Deva, Barve Kele. 3 times he is saying, it is good that you beat me through the hands of Mambaji. He saw Krishna's hands in Mambaji. Right? And then the beautiful thing he says, you didn't let me get angry. Can anyone catch something here? You didn't let me get angry. What did you say? You didn't let me become angry. What did you say in this?
Krishna is the controller.
Yes, but what is the mood is here?
Humility.
Yeah, but in what sense?
No, I didn't control by myself, you only.
Yes. See, if something happens to you, if you don't get angry, what you will think? Oh, I didn't get angry. He did so much to me, I didn't get angry. He did so much to me, I didn't get angry. I am so humble, correct? But see, Tukaram says, you didn't get me angry. That is the mood, correct? Yeah, Prabhuji said that Krishna, he accepted Krishna is Supreme Controller. But this is how his mood was. If something is happening, Krishna has something. So you didn't let me get angry. That is what Vaishnava is. He never ever takes credit for anything. I controlled anger or I controlled lust. You cannot on your own, it's impossible. So in this way, Tukaram was praying. There are beautiful abhangas there. I'm not going to tell all, but it's one of these. So he was praying to Vittala, and as he was praying, his whole wound was healing. He became completely alright. And again, he went on everything. So in the evening, he came for Kirtan. Correct. and Mambaji was not there. His seat was empty. So he sent one of his assistants, go and see why Mambaji hasn't come. Now their assistant has seen Mambaji beating Tukaram in the morning. So he goes and, when you offend a devotee, Krishna will take care of it. The Mambaji, because he offended Tukaram, he was flipping on the ground like a fish. And his fever, with high fever, his disciples were trying to put cold cloth on his body and make him cool. But he was just flipping on the ground. So when this boy came to see, he is just suffering and, on the floor he's just rolling around and here they are shouting, in pain. So this boy, he felt so happy. He said, wow, this is what happens if you trouble Sant. No, this is a good punishment for you. It must have happened to you. And he thought, if I tell this to Tukaram, he will be very happy. So he came running happily and told Tukaram, he is suffering like anything. Tukaram said, what? He is suffering like anything? So he said, you continue the kirtan. Tukaram came and he touched his feet. He said, it's just because of me you are suffering so much. If I had not touched my broom to your fence, all these things would not have happened. Please forgive me. And he started massaging his feet. Now, see, this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy. Pranadapi sunichena, torohiva saishnuna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadhari. First three are easy. Pranadapi sunichena, humbler than the blade of grass. You can act like that. Even if I am not humble, because nothing is going, humbler and tolerant than the tree, that also you can show sometimes. Third one, someone gives respect, you also give respect. The fourth one is difficult. Amanina, manadena. Those who insult you, you should give him the same respect. Correct? It's very difficult. And that is what we see in this pastime, story of Tukaram. And that is how he is a disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because practically applying the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his life. So I'll stop here. Ananteshwar showed me his watch half an hour ago. So, doctor, please forgive me. Now promotion is over. You can punish me. And I'll stop here. Any questions anybody have? I don't know what time it was supposed to be, but it's okay, Puji. Hare Krishna.
So Prabhu, what is the disciplic succession of Tukaram?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Tukaram. Raghav Chaitanya, Keshav Chaitanya सांगितले कोण मालिकेची Ramakrishna mantra dila Swapnamaji. It is written by Tukaram only. He said, appeared to me, he told me his name is Raghav Chaitanya, also Keshav Chaitanya. Sangitali Khuna Malikechi. He gave the mala and told him that you should chant Ramakrishna Hari. But he did that Swapnamaji. He came in a dream. That's what Tukaram himself is saying. Okay. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, do we have any free will in this world, or is it just everything is just illusion and created by Maya from Krishna?
I didn't get the first word. Do we?
Do we, human beings, do we have any free will?
Free will.
Free will, or is everything is just an illusion?
That is the only thing you have, free will. Nothing else. Nothing else, just a free will. Prabhupada says desire. Only one thing you have in this world is desire. And that is why we have to learn to use our desire properly. So we don't know how to desire, that's why Krishna comes and gives that. Yame matamidam nityam. This should be your desire. So that's why we follow Bhagavad Gita. Right? Otherwise, nothing is in your hand. Nothing. How many people behave in this? Nothing is in your hand. Not half are like this, half are like this. Very few are like this. Convinced. Okay? How is that? I'll prove you in 1 minute from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Aham Atma Gudakesha. Correct? I am Atma. So you don't have existence. Indriyanam Manaschasmi. I am the mind. Among all the Indriyas, right? Buddhir Buddhirmatam Asmi. I am the intelligent of intelligence. Then he says, Balam Balavata cha Aham. I am the strength of the strong. Correct? And then our body is made from earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. So where are we? Where are we? We had something? Huh? Do we have anything? We are nothing. Correct? We are nothing. The day we understand that, we will become completely happy. Right? So we are nothing, but everything is Krishna's. And our free will is whether to use it in Krishna's service or use it in our sense gratification. Correct? So if you use it in sense gratification, what happens? You get another body. You get another body. You get another body. You get another body. There is no end. But if you use in Krishna's service, this body also gets purified and Antakale Chamameva Smaran Muktva Kalevaram. One who chants my holy name or does service throughout life, he goes back home, back to Godhead. There are the only two choices, nothing else.
So, Prabhuji, on the last, before ending the story of Tukaram, you were talking about ego. Having an ego is a bad thing, Prabhuji? Having an ego?
There are two egos. One is a false ego, another is ego. So having false ego is bad. Ego means identity. Knowing the identity and acting that is not bad. But whenever we talk about false ego, mithya ahankar, we talk about false ego. Real ego is I am servant of Krishna. That's real ego, real identity. Correct? That is aham. That's correct aham. I am servant of Krishna. Right? But other than that, anything, if we think anything, that is mithya ahankar. That is false ego. So, ego is existence. Yes, I am there, but I am not independent. Right? I am not the only thing in the creation. There are so many things are there. Right? So, the purpose of that is to understand Krishna and serve Him. So that is the real ego. I am servant of Krishna.
So, Prabhu, what are the abhangas? Are they teachings or?
Abhangas, yes, these are the teachings of Tukaram.
They are written in the books or?
Yes, they are in the form of a book. They are about 4,700. Originally he wrote more than 4 lakhs, but in disciplic succession that much is available. Yes.
First, I request forgiveness for my question, but you mentioned that the intelligence of the intelligence is Krishna. So how will, if intelligence itself is Krishna, then how will free will exist? It has to be removed.
Yes, intelligence is coming from Krishna, but whether you want to use it or not, that free will is given to you.
But the body, anything cannot operate without the intelligence. Intelligence is driving everything.
Yes, Krishna is giving you intelligence. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Matta Sprutir Jnanam Apohanam Cha. He says, Sarvasya Chaham Hrudi Sannivishto. I am situated in everyone's heart. Mattaha Smriti. From me comes remembrance. Jnanam comes jnana. And Apohanam Cha. Forgetfulness. So even if you want to remember Krishna, you have to take help of Krishna. If you want to forget Krishna, also you have to take help of Krishna. Without Krishna's mercy, you cannot forget Him. Right? Without Krishna's mercy. Yes, intelligence is coming from Krishna. Correct? But then he says that it's coming from me. But if you want forgetfulness, he will make you forget in such a way that you will never think about God.
So it is, if I take an analogy, right? So it is like, okay, I have a necklace made of gold. So gold is Krishna. And now the necklace is thinking, okay, the gold in the necklace is different than the gold original. It cannot exist like that.
Yes, in one sense that is true. Krishna is Satchidananda, I am also Satchidananda. Same. But am I realized that I am Satchidananda? I am not. Our necklace is got some rust now. Correct? So it doesn't look like a necklace. Correct? Our soul is covered by ego and all other things. So it needs to be cleaned. And the process is chant Hare Krishna.
Is the soul covered or the intelligence covered?
Soul is covered. So the intelligence is covered. Correct? The soul is covered by mind, intelligence and false ego.
Because the soul is eternal.
Yes.
It cannot be.
Yes. So Prabhupada,
it cannot get impure any time.
That is true. But soul, Krishna's Maya is equal to Krishna.
Yes,
right? So that is why if you want to forget, Krishna has created that covering on you. Beginning with ego, that I am different, I am not, I am body. Then everything gets covered. Okay? So yes, but soul is pure, Satchidananda. But it is covered because you want to be covered. And that can be removed only if you connect to the pure, Satchidananda, gold again, as you said. Yes, Prabhu, somebody has a question. Yeah.
But Prabhuji, as soon as you said I am, you already disconnected. You are thinking that when you say I am, you are trying to make a decision for yourself, which is again a Maya. You making a decision for yourself is like Krishna's decision coming through you. That's all I can say.
That is true.
Say, I am making it, then though you think you are doing it, but at the end of the day it's being done.
Your example is good. If you are connected to Krishna, yes, it's all coming. But now the wire is separated. There is no connection.
Who is quantifying that?
What's that?
Who is qualifying that connection?
That's the Guru. Brings you back to Krishna and connects it and you get the same energy. That's why we have a Guru who is bringing us close to Krishna with the process of Bhakti Yoga. That connection is there. So we are Satchidananda, yes, if you are linked with Satchidananda. But you are Satchidananda, and when you get covered from the illusory energy, you lose your connection with Krishna. Just like iron. Iron has a quality to naturally get attracted to, what is it called, magnet. But if it is rusted, to the degree of the layer of the rust, the magnet will not catch it or attract it. So that's like our heart. So whole process of chanting Hare Krishna and devotional service is to cover that rust from our heart and make it clean gold. Then Prahlad Maharaj says that it is natural for iron to get attracted to magnet. So Krishna is like a magnet. So why it is not attracting now? It is Krishna's energy only, the rust is also Krishna's energy. He created, because you are not using that iron as a service to the Lord. So the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, is to remove that layers of rust. And that's why the whole human life is for. Okay?
Prabhuji, one last question.
One last question? That's your last question or last question from everyone?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay.
From my side.
I don't have a problem. I have come here in 3 days. I'm staying. I may have come here for preaching. It's up to you how hungry you are. And to the Dr. Saab, how long you want him to stay in his house. So these things. Yes, go ahead.
So in this material world, does Krishna give us intelligence to know everything, or is it just again a myth that we will not know anything in this world? We are just acting.
Yes, it depends upon our qualification. Right? Krishna, you cannot become Krishna. You cannot know everything. But Krishna let you know one thing, that you have forgotten me. That is good enough. Even if you don't remember anything, that is fine. You see, you are insignificant part of Krishna. You know, can any person in the world say that I know everything? Even a person in this one subject, like can lawyers say that I know all the laws? No. So that proves that we have limited intelligence. Right?
Krishna
So
is limiting us or we are limiting ourselves?
we are limiting ourselves because of our body. We have the same potency of Krishna in quality, not in quantity. Okay, we are Satchidananda. That is our original position. Right? All material knowledge is not so important. That is there today, is gone tomorrow. So Krishna is saying this knowledge, Raj Vidya, this is eternal knowledge. It's the soul, knowledge with the soul. Sat Chit, Chit is knowledge. That knowledge is eternal knowledge, is with you. It is not coming from anywhere else. All the material knowledge you are acquiring, but at the time of death it goes away. But the knowledge that you are part and parcel of Krishna and what Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita, it is there within your heart. That is the real knowledge you always carry. And that is eternal knowledge, and that is the most important knowledge. All other knowledge is changing. Correct? Hare Krishna. Yes, Ananteshwar said we should stop here. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Dr. Saab, and Hare Krishna.